Kiwi.
A little something for the weekend with Sam Hunt.
Kicking off the weekend and a new month with Sam Hunt. Morning, Sam.
Oh, good morning, Wemo. Yeah, is this a new month? It is indeed, isn't it?
It's the April Fool.
It's the 1st of April.
Yeah.
Aye, yeah. I don't know if it's got anything to do with it, but over in a far paddock from where I live on the water here, on the Kuiper, there's a man, I think it's a man, playing a cornet.
Oh.
All on his own in the middle of a paddock. It's
right
great.
now?
Yeah, well, he was. I told her. Until I threw a rock at him.
Get out of there.
I got a big hunk of limestone and heaved in his direction. He seems to have got the message. If something breaks into life halfway through a poem, you understand.
I think I'd do that if he was playing bagpipes up on a hillside or something.
I don't know. I never really got bagpipes until, of course, I heard them played properly out in the outside, coming over the hills.
Yeah.
And then you realise with those war parties, what terrifying events they'd be. You'd hear them coming for a few hours before you actually saw them.
Time and place, though. But sometimes I think bagpipers can outstay their welcome.
Well, poets have been known to do the same.
Sure.
I'll tell you what. I got great news yesterday. I've mentioned before, I've got a new book of poems coming out in the end of May called Chords and Other Poems. Anyway, I've been holding out for a particular thing to be on the cover, which is this huge hunk of metal that a friend of mine found and gave me up in Cass. I may have mentioned it before. It's a big runic. It's actually it's a railway device. It's called a de-stressor.
Huh.
And they fit on. This was just over in the Bracken, and my friend Eileen found it, and I said, "That's beautiful, big heavy hunk of metal."
Yeah. And
she gave it to me, and I said, "Well, look, I'll tell you what, thank you." And I said, I'll use that someday for something, like a cover or something.
Mm.
And anyway, 7 years later, to the day, because it was the first week, or to the week, 7 years, the old serendipity of 7 years.
Yeah.
But 7 years to this week, which was also the same week my mother died, Eileen gave me this metal, and today, or I should say yesterday, I've got word from the publisher that the designer has found a way. In fact, he's found a very fine way of using this on the cover.
Oh, cool.
And I'm absolutely bloody rapt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the actual image of the photograph is taken by Alf, so when the book comes out, there'll be a little acknowledgement for my 13-year-old. There'll be a little acknowledgement, cover photograph, Alf Hunt.
Oh, great. Is Alf turning into a photography enthusiast?
No. I just got it. Just the old digital camera with a flash.
Cool.
But he took some good shots. I wanted to have some good photographs so I could send them down to the publisher, so the publishers could sort of think about it. And that's Craig Potton and Nelson.
Yeah.
And when they went to their designer, they could. So the designer hasn't seen the real object. That's sitting with me on my round table as I speak to you. Yeah. Are you there?
Yes.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, hello, Sam.
Hello.
Come on in.
Look, I was going to say last week. Anyway, it's just a little thing. So that book come out, and I've got the email yesterday of the cover with the de-stressor. Used really in a runic sort of way, which is what it looks like. It looks like a great runic sort of something or other. But anyway, last week, I did a poem and I had a lovely letter from someone from Miroslav Holub. I did that poem Fairy Tale last week. That's the one that ends up and how does it end up? And he wrapped the garden in the sky and the house in the garden and packed the lot in a handkerchief and went off, lone as an Arctic fox. I love that line. Lone as an Arctic fox through the cold, unending rain into the world. Well, here's another poem by the same poet, and I'd like to read it to you.
Cool.
These Czechoslovak poets apparently, I don't know but they are sort of easier to translate than a lot of the other European languages.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm told. This is called I like this one. It's called Brief Reflection on Accuracy. Fish always accurately know where to move and when, and likewise, birds have an accurate built-in time sense and orientation. Humanity, however, lacking such instincts, resorts to scientific research. Its nature is illustrated by the following occurrence. A certain soldier had to fire a cannon at 6 o'clock sharp every evening. Being a soldier, he did so. When his accuracy was investigated, he explained, "I go by the absolutely accurate chronometer in the window of the clockmaker down in the city. Every day at 17:45, I set my watch by it and climb the hill where my cannon stands ready. At 17:59 precisely, I step up to the cannon, and at 18 hours sharp, I fire." And it was clear that this method of firing was absolutely accurate. All that was left was to check that chronometer. So the clockmaker down in the city was questioned about his instrument's accuracy. "Oh," said the clockmaker, "this is one of the most accurate instruments ever. Just imagine, for many years now, a cannon has been fired at 6 o'clock sharp, and every day I look at this chronometer, and always it shows exactly 6. So much for accuracy, and fish move in the water, and from the skies comes a rushing of wings, while chronometers tick and cannon boom."
I love that.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
That's a goodie.
Good. Yeah.
He's a lovely poet. And that got me onto another Czech poet who's written a lovely little short poem. This is a bit confusing, these names. I'll say that last one is Miroslav Holub. And this is now a very short poem by another of a similar age, born 1905, died in 1980, Vladimir Holan, Holan. It's called Resurrection. Again, obviously a translation. Is it true that after this life of ours, we shall one day be awakened by a terrifying clamor of trumpets? Forgive me, God, but I console myself that the beginning and resurrection of all of us dead will simply be announced by the crowing of the cock. After that, we'll remain lying down a while. The first to get up will be Mother. We'll hear her quietly laying the fire, quietly putting the kettle on the stove, and cozily taking the teapot out of the cupboard. We'll be home once more. That was a man who survived a lot of suffering in his life. Yeah, I've been reading a bit about him. My God, there's some great poets out there. Yeah.
Nice.
And can I? This is talk about things for the weekend. But can I just fit in a very new one of my own?
Oh, good.
Which is also in 2 6-line verses. It's called Last in Line, and I showed it to a friend, and she thought I may have been sort of talking about someone specific, but do you know what I was thinking about when I wrote this poem? I was actually thinking about New Zealand.
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't being nationalistic. It's not a very nice poem, but I was thinking sort of it's a sad poem. But
Okay.
I don't know. It goes like this: Last in line. No, I wasn't. I mean, you could. I don't know what I was thinking about. I probably wasn't thinking about anything. I'm just going to make it up that I was thinking about something when I was writing the poem. Last in line. You never had much of a life, youngest of many and every day reminded. Last in line, late for the gravy. Last in line, left for dead. And that, not enough. Married a man too old to be your father. Was like you got nothing right. Then one day, light as a feather, you blew away out of all sight, like so be it, like amen.
Huh.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that won't be in chords. That'll be too late to go into chords, so I'll keep that for Knucklebones.
When will chords be out?
Comes out on the same at the end of May. That's at the end of next month. They're having the world premiere of the film Purple Balloon and Other Stories.
Yep.
In Nelson at the I think at the State Royal, which is a really beautiful theatre they've done up down there. That'll be and the book will come out the same night. That's right. The book and the film will come out then. And then the film goes around, going around the Rialto. There'll be quite a lot of. I had to have my photograph taken yesterday, all to do with that. to do with the publicity.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's all starting to be happy. I don't like all that bloody... He's a good photographer, nice fellow, but I can't... Somebody comes up and spins an hour taking a photograph, and he's a really good person. No, absolutely good company.
Sounds like Alf could take the photos now. We
I
could do all
reckon.
that. Yeah.
Oh, this guy's pretty good, though. He's very good. His name's Alistair Guthrie. He's, and this, I think, was for... I'm not sure. I think it was for Metro. So the book. To answer your question, the book and the film come out late May.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like the birth of another child.
Yeah.
And what about you, Whammo? You good?
Very good, thank you. Very good. I'm off to a wedding this weekend, not my own.
A wedding?
Yes.
People still get married.
They are apparently. Well, apparently already married, so it's kind of like a dedication type ceremony rather than.
Yeah.
But it'll be it's a nice place, Bethels. You'll be familiar with Bethels.
I was going to get married once, and I ended up in the wrong building, and I never got married.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, I went to the wrong building.
Yeah.
I went to the police station. Or did they take me there? I can't remember. Hey, you have a good weekend, Whammo.
Will do, thanks, Sam.
Okay.
Cheers.
See ya.
That was a little something for the weekend with Sam Hunt, only on Kiwi.